He's doing. He's not going to waste his troops on some ill-advised attack. Just gonna get his 4th base up and running, which he's doing at the bottom left, so that's going really well for him right now. And these Corsairs, one of the Corsairs actually does get picked off by those Scourge. That's unfortunate. But Jangbi getting that 4th base, that 4th base with the 3rd gas is gonna be so good for him if he can hold it. If he can hold on to that 3rd gas is going to be, oh man, he's gonna be able to pump so many Archons out of that, a bunch of Reavers if he wants them. It's gonna be really nice for Jangbi heading into the later stages of the game, since it seems like these guys aren't going to fight in the mid game, or are not going to have a pitched fight anyways. We're 14.5 minutes in and haven't seen too much of a fight. The closest thing has been like Mutalisk darting in to kill High Templar. Other than that, it's just been these little tiny skirmishes here and there, trying to do some economic damage on Jangbi's part, or trying to sneak some lings in here and there, but nothing too significant happening so far. We do have a support bay, which is cool, so that means that we are going to get some Reavers out soon, and a High Templar blocked by some bad gateway placement by Jangbi. That's great. Good job, Jangbi. It's never good, and a High Templar is going to go down to those Zerglings. Does get a Storm off before dying, so those Zerglings should probably just go down to 1 hit, I would imagine, at this point. And Jangbi heading up towards Hoejja's main. Maybe he'll go for that 3rd mineral only. No, he's backing off again. He may go for that mineral only that Hoejja probably has taken. Yeah, he just did. Yeah, that hatchery is just more. So he does have that mineral only on his ramp. So that is his 5th base, and that could be a target for Jangbi to definitely try and take down. Or yeah, so that way he can try and if he can make it 4 base versus 4 base, I think Jangbi will be very happy. Even though technically he's down 1 gas, I think Jangbi will be in a really nice spot economically in that situation. Looked like Jangbi was trying to get it on the right side with Reaver, possibly maybe a High Templar drop, something like that, but wasn't quite able to do so. And Jangbi setting up for a 5th base, taking the inside base. I don't know what to call it. The inside 6, I guess. Inside 5? Yeah, we'll go with something like that. Inside 5, the inner bottom right, something. You know what I'm talking about. And if he can get that up and running, it's just like, what is Hoejja doing? Hoejja's just letting Jangbi take extra bases right now, it seems like. He does come in now with some Zerglings. He's going to stop that, and he's going to try and pick off some High Templar. Picks off 1, and doesn't quite get the 2nd one. But most of his Zerglings do get stormed. And another batch of Zerglings streaming in. And it looks like they're heading towards the 6 o'clock position. Going to go for that mineral only. There are 5 cannons or so there. And Jangbi should have reinforcements available to defend. We'll see if this is actually effective. He's going to take down a couple of the cannons already. But a lot of the Zerglings have gone down. Not a whole lot left. Looks like just a couple of Zerglings. Oh, another batch of Zerglings coming in here. So now Jangbi is going to have to come back and defend. That is just a few too many Zerglings for his cannons to handle. He does have a Reaver heading over there. That could be enough to actually take down the entire attack, particularly if it's not microed correctly by Hoejja. And Jangbi coming in to punish Hoejja for that attack, and it's attacking the mineral only. So that mineral only is going to fall. Ooh, I think the Reaver did die there. But I think this mineral only is just about to fall. He's got still has some storm in the air. Some High Templars available. There's a swarm, a nice swarm coming in. We'll see if he's able to take advantage. Hoejja, and Jangbi needs to back out of it, at least with his Dragoons. He does manage to take down the hatchery, and now he looks like he's preparing to back off. He doesn't want to lose that Archon if he can help it, but that Archon is doing a pretty good job of absorbing a lot of Zealot or Zergling hits and letting his Dragoons do their work. So that's a very nice attack by Jangbi. Was able to successfully defend as well. Looks like he might have lost some probes, but he did all right. And an Overlord coming in, maybe looking for a drop, but if there was anything in it, it got wasted very, very quickly with all the cannons that were in the area. And Jangbi has finally realized his bad gateway placement, so he's going to have to blow up that gateway with a couple of Zealots. So has to do what he's got to do. And a lot of lurkers actually being produced here from Hoejja, so it looks like he really wants to go with this Defiler play, try and get some swarms, maybe try and chain some swarms together, work towards one of the bases of Jangbi and take them down. The bottom left obviously is probably one of the more vulnerable ones outside of the inside 5, which is in the low ground, so that is the most vulnerable. But that bottom left is pretty vulnerable, and the 6 o'clock probably a little less so, almost I would say, than the bottom left, simply because he can reinforce. I mean, here comes Hoejja again trying to take down this 6 o'clock, but I don't know if this is really the base he should be going for, simply because it's right next to his reinforcement route, Jangbi's reinforcement route, so it's really easy for him to help defend it, even if the cannons, say, are not necessarily enough. Whereas the bottom left, he's got to go down a ramp, come back up a narrow ramp, and I don't even know if Jangbi has. I think Jangbi did take a Reaver over there to the bottom left, but I think with the drop and some swarm, the big swarm drop, could probably take down the bottom left if he wanted to really commit 5 or 6 overlords to that attack. And what else we got going on here? Hoejja taking the top left, the mineral only at the top left on the left hand main, taking that mineral only, taking the mineral only at the top right, taking that back. So it looks like he's trying to even up the economics, or trying to take a little bit of a lead economically. But Jangbi just has so much map control. Look at this. I mean, his army just goes wherever it wants. Hoejja has been trying to get this army to go where he wants it to by sending a bunch of those zerglings to the 6 o'clock or something like that, trying to force Jangbi home. But Jangbi really has not been overcommitting in his defenses and has been doing a really good job of maintaining his map presence. And it looks like Hoejja actually setting up for a big drop, crackling lurker, maybe even a defiler to lumped in there to go for the main of Jangbi. Jangbi does have a few corsairs there, so we'll see if that's enough to deter Hoejja, or even kill off some of the possibly a critical overlord that has has a lurker in it, or not the lurker, but the defiler in it or something like that would be a critical win. And here come the corsairs, trying to stop the overlords, but Scourge coming in as well to at least distract the Corsairs, so these overlords are going to get in. A bunch of cannons actually. Jangbi looks like he was somewhat prepared for this, and also a couple storms coming in, so Jangbi not completely caught off guard, only partially, so it looks like this could have been much worse if Jangbi hadn't had those initial storms and all those cannons there. That could have been a much worse attack. Looks like Jangbi took down a lot of the units. There is still a decent bunch there, but Jangbi did manage to take out a lot of the initial units, so I think he's going to be able to clean this up with reinforcements. I don't think he's going to have to bring his main army back to fight against us. Yeah, it really doesn't look like it. As soon as he produces an observer, he sends it back there. He's got some DTs. Reinforcing zealots will be enough to take those lurkers down. He might lose his Templar archives. That is at risk. But I think overall, that's a pretty nice defense by Jangbi. I don't think that he's going to be too upset about that loss at all. And it looks like, yeah, the Templar archives is going to go down, but he is going to manage to clean this up as well. And Jangbi coming in for an attack at the top left, going to try and stop a 5th gas from being obtained by Hoejja, it looks like, and maybe even go for that mineral only. No, but it looks like he's being forced to retreat because there's an attack coming in at the backside by Hoejja. Hoejja coming in for the nice little flank. Looks like most of the zealots have gone down. Looks like a half dozen left, and a single Archon mixed in with a lot of Dragoons. Still a lot of Dragoons doing a ton of damage. Those Dragoons just, they do a lot of damage, particularly to all Zerg units, really. Dragoons do a decent bit of damage as long as they can. They have those meat shields, the Archons and the Zerglings in front. And once that 4th gas gets up and running for Jangbi, I think we'll really see him start to pump out a lot more Archons. We'll start seeing Reavers mixed into this, and maybe a little less Dragoon heavy build here as we move on into the later stage of the game. And an Ultras Cavern has been produced, so we should be seeing a lot of Ultras. He's been working off of 4 gas for a long time. He's used a bunch of lurkers and gotten like Overlord drops, some defilers here, but I think he should still be doing pretty good on the gas count with 4 gas. Should be. Got some Reavers starting to be produced, a lot of High Templars, so that's going to be mixed in with a lot of those are going to be morphed into Archons. And we do have a Dark Archon as well, so Jangbi very much on top of the game here, knows that Ultras should be coming out relatively soon, so what does he do? He produces a Dark Archon and starts getting some Reavers out. I'm going to be able to Maelstrom, hopefully, a big batch of Dark Archon, or not Dark Archons, Maelstrom a batch of Ultras, and then use his Reavers to clean up a fight. So that's the plan right now. A Reaver coming out on its own into the middle of the map. Did he miss rally? I'm not really sure why a Reaver is out there without a shuttle, just sort of wondering, but it is. A lot of Zerglings coming to the 6 o'clock position to stop Jangbi from mining the last 300 or 400 minerals that are at that location. Now, at this point, it's just kind of like, why are you even bothering to attack this spot? There's only a few hundred minerals there, and you're going to lose a lot of Zerglings just to try and take it. I really don't think this is worth it for Hoejja. He did manage to take out a couple High Templars, which is nice of him, and he was also able to convince Jangbi that his own pylons aren't very cool and that he should blow his own pylons up, and Jangbi did do that, because apparently Jangbi doesn't like his pylons. So that's what happened there. And he did take down the Nexus. I just don't, but that just really isn't significant. That base was basically completely mined out, so it really didn't do too much. Jangbi's not really hurting from that at all. We do have a batch of Ultras out though, and that Dark Archon just kind of wandering out in the middle of the map. Luckily it has a lot of shields, so even if Hoejja notices it, hopefully JB will be able to pull it back. And here comes Hoejja coming in for a little mini drop, 3 Overlord drop to the bottom left. I really think that if he was going to go for this, unless there's a good, really good swarm in here, and there is no swarm in here, you know what? Okay, there's the swarm, really, really late, and that Ultralisk not getting into the swarm, and I don't really know what just happened. I mean, okay, you're gonna get 1 lurker into a good spot. I don't know how many kills it has. It has all of 2 kills because the probes were pulled away. So that was a pretty ineffective attack. I really think that if he was gonna go for that, he really should have had like 5 or 6 overlords full of swarms and gotten some more cracklings in there and stuff. That just wasn't enough. And now he comes in late with the zergling, so when the reavers are already there to defend. So some bad decisions here, I would say, by Hoejja in terms of his execution. Some good ideas, but bad execution. I think he could have taken down that bottom left with a larger drop, better locational drop, dropping all those units behind the mineral lines rather than into the middle of them, and get that Ultralisk just like wandering around and randomly, but dying to cannons before he get under a swarm. It's pretty bad. And Jamie's gonna stop this base at the 9 o'clock from coming up, and really stopping Hoejja from getting that 5th gas. Whoa! Here comes a big battle coming in. Maelstrom going off on a few of the Ultralisk, and the Archon's just coming in here to start bopping on him. And here come the Reavers, so Hoja's gonna have to back off. Yeah, he is gonna have to back off immediately. And yeah, that was a pretty good engagement for Jangbi. Took out a lot of units, lost very, very little. Good Maelstrom going down, and Hoejja just now trying to get that 5th gas up at the top left. It looks like he might have just gotten it down, but Jangbi was delaying it for a long time. And we'll see if he's able to take a base down. I think Jangbi at this point, he's got that big army, got the mobility of the shuttles with the Reavers, and all of the damage that entails. 4 Reavers, so much damage can be dealt, whether under swarm or not. There's just so much damage there that he's got to have. That is a really powerful force wandering around. And here comes another drop into the main. They're just so small, these drops. They're just so piddling. It's like, yeah, they're good, but and you know, they're taking down some of the cannons, getting some storms being used, and forcing some of these reinforcements back. But it's not enough to force Jangbi's army back. So Jangbi right now is on the offensive. All those units that Hoejja attacked with, that dropped it. I mean, it's not a lot, but those units really didn't do anything. They accomplished virtually nothing. They killed a couple cannons that really were only there to be a delaying action more than anything else, and really didn't do anything else. So Jangbi still with his main army out in the field, able to maraud around, and Hoejja has a lot of economy. That's really his benefit right now, is that because of his turtle style, because he's been able to defend with lurkers here and there, and Jangbi hasn't been able to go and take down bases that effectively. That's why we're at the stage where Hoejja has so much economy that even though he's wasting some of his attacks and things, that it's okay for him. And it looks like Jangbi's going to take down the top left, and Hoja's going to go for the inside 4, and I think he's going to have a good chance here. There's a lot of cannons, 6 or 7 cannons, but there isn't a whole lot else. 1 Archon, a High Templar, some more High Templars coming in, probably has a couple storms in there, 1 swarm, and this whole base goes down. Looks like there is no swarm. There's a DT mixed in there to do some damage, but I don't know where the swarm is. Archon sitting here just blocking the path of the Ultras. That's actually a really nice spot for the Archon to morph. And here comes Jangbi's forces in retreat, coming back to defend, and I think Jangbi's going to be able to defend against this. Wow, that base has no right to life. That base should absolutely be dead right now. I like that placement of that Archon morph. That was nice, but Hoejja really could have microed that a lot better. 1, he could have included a swarm into that fight. 2, he could have actually forced fire those Ultras, maybe gone straight for the Nexus, gone for the forced attack some of the block.